Today what I'm gonna do is I'm going to set up a simple network where I'm going to um, set up in this switch three different VLANs. We're gonna also set up a management VLAN and the same thing for this switch. We're gonna set up three different VLANs. Each computer is going to be in a different VLAN. They're gonna have different IP addresses that we're gonna assign them statically, and then we're gonna configure the routers with um, switching capabilities, and we're gonna also configure the trunk port, and we're going to configure the router with OSPF, like that all the computers can communicate with each other across the network. Okay, the first PC I already set it up with a 192.168.5.101 IP address, and the second computer also already set it up with 192.168.10 IP address. They're in the different networks. Anyways, they're gonna be in a different VLANs, each one of them. Usually we will need. I'm using the command interface directly in the switch because you can see it better in the video, and it's easier to see what I'm doing this way. First of all, we don't wanna configure no security in the switches, but we're going to configure the name and enable conf t to configure terminal, host name switch 1. I did something wrong. Okay, that worked. And already the name is already set up. Then what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna create the VLANs. First, VLAN 5, and we're going to assign a name of V5 and conf t to configure terminal, and I'm going to create the other VLAN 10, and I'm going to assign the name of V10, and I also going to configure a management VLAN. This is good because this is where I'm going to put the IP address of this switch, because usually if I am a hacker, I'm going to try to hack to this switch. The easiest way is to go to the VLAN 1, the default VLAN, and if the IP address is there, it's going to be very easy to obtain the IP address, and we make it a little bit more difficult by putting it in a different VLAN. And I'm going to assign it to VLAN 77, and first I'm going to create VLAN 77. I can be in VLAN 99 also, but conf t VLAN 77 name MNG, the management VLAN. We do a Control Z. Now I'm going to configure the interfaces. Configure terminal. I'm going to go to interface 5, fast internet 5, 0/5, and I'm going to the switchboard tab, mode, access. we're gonna configure this as a access port. Then again, switchboard access VLAN 5. Then N conf T interface fast internet 10 switchboard mode access switchboard access VLAN 10. Now I'm going to configure the IP address of the switch by going to conf T and then going to interface VLAN 77 and assign the IP address 192.168.77.1. And I almost forgot to put the subnet mask of 255.255.0, and now I'm going to configure interface. First I'm going to conf T and go to interface fast internet 0/1 and configure this interface as a trunk port. And how I'm gonna do that is I go to switchboard mode trunk, then go switchboard trunk allowed and VLAN 1 to 100 will be fine. We end. Okay, right now both of the let's do show VLAN to see the VLANs in the switch. And how we can see VLAN 5 and VLAN 10 have been created, and we have assigned, well, I have assigned a port of Fast Internet 5 and Fast Internet 10. Also I created a 77 management VLAN, and here we can't see the IP address, but if we do a show run, it's a short for running config, and here we can see right away that the Fast Internet 01 is a trunk port, and the interface VLAN has an IP address assigned to. That's great. We finished with this switch. We're going to now go to the router. Here, no, enable conf T. Let's assign the name of R1, and now we're gonna do some switch capabilities. First, we're going to interface fast internet 0/0, and we hit it not shut down, and we change the state to up of that link. Now we go to interface. First we Control Z to go back, and we go to conf T interface fast internet 0/0, and we're gonna go into a sub interface of .5 right here. Gonna do to see how the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to use encapsulation. Encapsulation, and with a .1q, and here I'm gonna put the VLAN that is going to be VLAN 5, .1q 5. And now I'm going to assign an IP address to this link, and IP address 492.168.5.1 is the file gateway, with a 255.255.255.0 subnet mask, and conf t, and we're going to sub interface 010. Change the state to up, and now we use encapsulation .1q up. Wait, encapsulation .1q 10. Yep, and we're going to assign an IP address of .10.1. And right away I'm going to assign an IP address to interface 01 and change the state to up, like that. I don't need to come back right away to this router. I'm gonna do that by going to conf t, go to interface fast internet 0/1, and now I'm going to do a no shot and assign a static IP address of IP address of 192.168.1.1 with a 255.255.255.0 subnet mask, and show run to show the running config, and we see that we have fast internet 05 and an IP address has been assigned to it, and also fast internet 010 IP address has been assigned to it. Fast internet 01 also, and these are sub interfaces. And now these two computers should be able to ping to each other. We're gonna ping 192.168.10.101. First of all, it was timeout, but all the other ones went through. That's pretty good. I mean that we set it up super good. Now we're going to configure the other computers. This one I haven't assigned IP address to them yet, and I'm going to assign an IP address of 192.168.10.1. dot 12 dot 101 with a 255 and the file gateway is gonna be 192 dot 168 dot 12 dot 1 and gonna configure this other host with a static IP address of 192.168, and we're gonna make them this member of the same network dot 12 dot 102 255 255 255 something mask class C, and the file gateway is gonna be 192.168 dot 12.1. Okay, but we're gonna configure the management VLAN. Enable first conf t, and we're going to configure the management VLAN. First we're gonna create the VLAN. We got 99, and we're gonna name MNG management VLAN, and enable conf t for configure terminal. We're gonna go to the management VLAN and we're going to apply an IP address to it. We go to interface VLAN 99 and IP address of 192.168.50.1 with a 255.255.255.0, and maybe in the future we're going to create other VLANs in this switch. Would be very good if we already configure the trump work of the switch, like that. When we create the other VLANs, we don't need to configure the trump work to allow the new VLANs to pass through interface 01 to the router. I'm gonna do that right away. Conf t for configure terminal, and I'm gonna go to interface fast internet 0/1. Here we're gonna put the switch port mode trunk, switch port trunk allowed trunk. I'm gonna hit this. Yes, it's allowed. You can also make it native, but I don't want to. I'm gonna make it allowed. VLAN 1 through 99, and we're going to also change the name of the switch. Why not? We're already here. Gonna do that by going to conf t host name switch 2, and we need to put these together. There we go. And now we go to router 1, command line interface. We hit no here. Enable. Change the name right away. Host name R2. Wait. Conf t host name. And it's gonna be R2. Okay, and now we're going to go to interface, fast internet 0/0, and change the state to up by doing a shut. Now the state is up, and we're going to also assign an IP address of. Here we can assign an IP address right away that can go with the same network of these two computers. They are in the .12 network, and that's what we're gonna do. IP address 192.168.12.1 with a 255.255.255.0. And let's configure the .1 interface. Conf t, go to configure terminal, go to interface, fast internet 01/1, and we're going to do a no shut to change the state to up, and we're going to assign an IP address. Wait, I forgot what IP address we assigned to the internet 01, and was a .1.1. That means in this one I can do a .1.2, 192.168.1.2 with a 255.255.255.0 subnet mask, and now the link is up. But now I'm gonna use OSPF to route the network like that they can communicate across the network, and this router can know all the networks that are connected to this router without the necessity of me going every time and configuring all the changes that I do to router 1. And that's why OSPF is the best for this. And I do this by going router OSPF 1, and I'm going to do router OSPF 1, and I'm going to configure the networks that are in this router, and I'm gonna do that by saying network 192.168.1.0, and the wildcard bits. Now I need to configure that they are the opposite um of the subnet mask. That means 0.0.0.255, and the area 1. I'm gonna do the same thing for the other network that we have, and the other network is that 12. The 12. Oh, oops. 12. That 0. 0.0.0.255 for the wildcard bits, and area 1, area 0. Oh, I need to change the one on top. Area 0. Okay, this router is already set up. Now I'm going to we're done for this router. Now I'm going to continue in the other router. I'm gonna hit end here, and in the other router I'm going to hit enable, then conf t to go to configure terminal, and gonna do a show run. Wait, and show run to show running config. Everything has been configured here, I forgot. And let's see the IP, the table, the IP table. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna put a show IP route to see the routing table. Show IP route, and how I can see now all the networks let's see, let's do the same here. Show IP route, they are not communicating with each other. Just try to ping. Now I remember what was the problem. The problem is that I didn't do OSPF in this router. I just assigned OAPF to router 2, but I didn't do it in router 1. Now we're gonna do it to router 1. Enable conf t route OSPF 1 and see what else can we do. Well, we're gonna assign the network 192.168.1.0 0.0.0, the wildcard bits, and area 0. Network, the other network that we're gonna assign is the network 5 and network 10. Network 192.168.5.0 0.0.0.255 area 0. Now network 10 and now we should be able to ping across the network. I'm gonna try. Gonna use a command prompt. And I'm gonna ping this computer. This computer is 192.168.12. Let's see. Ping 192.168.12.102. Timeout. The first, all the other ones went through. That means that all the setup was nice. Exactly how I planned it. And this was just a simple network where I created two different VLANs and a network. All these computers are in the same network here, and I connect them to everything together using OSPF1, and everything went completely fine. I also, first of all, after I assigned the VLANs and I configured the trunk work, I also configured the routing capabilities in the router, switching capabilities in the router, like that these two VLANs could communicate between each other. And this was the video. Thank you. Have a nice night or day, whatever.